Hello Aries, and welcome to the Green Woman Tarot. This is your reading for the next 2 weeks, which is from the 10th to the 24th of January 2022. And it's a general reading just to see what sort of energies are around you at this time. But before we delve into the tarot reading, I need to consult the oracle. And this is the Divine Muses Oracle, which I'll be using today to draw a couple of cards from, just to start your reading off with. So let's see. What words of wisdom does the mysterious oracle have for Aries for the 10th to the 24th of January 2022? What messages are here for Aries for the next 2 weeks? What does Aries need to know at this time? So let's just pick a couple of cards and see what you get. So you have Lionheart and Perfect Stranger. So Lionheart is it's about having courage and courage to stand with what's true to you, or perhaps even courage to face a difficult task ahead, or to stick to an important decision you may have made. It's sort of this hawk here sort of suggests a connection with spirit as well at this time. So perhaps you may find a guiding, guiding energy in this time of needing to be courageous. So you've got Lionheart and the Perfect Stranger. This is about acts of goodwill. You know, those moments when we connect with someone we don't know through an act of kindness, or simply making that connection with someone who may well be someone who gives you guidance or help at this time. Sort of a serendipitous meeting of minds, or, as I said, an act of kindness or generosity that aids you in your quest or your week, your next in this time. But let's see where the rest of the reading takes us. So let's see what's on the cards for Aries for the 10th to the 24th of January 2021. What messages are here for Aries for the next 2 weeks? What does Aries need to know at this time? And this is the tarot vintage that I'll be using today, and I'll put down an 8-card spread for you Aries, with the first 2 cards depicting you in your current situation, where you are now. The following 2 cards highlight the challenges you may be facing at this time, with the next 2 cards offering you some guidance from divine energies as you move towards the final 2 cards, which may reveal your possible outcome to this time period. So let's see what you get. Right, there's the 8 of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles, where you are now. You have the 4 of Wands and the 9 of Wands in your challenges. You have the 3 of Swords and the 8 of Swords as your guidance cards, and you're moving towards the 7 of Pentacles and the 5 of Wands. Beneath the deck you have Temperance. This is a card not only of balance and moderation, but also the combining of two opposing energies in order to make one sometimes astounding new thing. So it does speak of, finding your path, and a long and perhaps arduous path towards enlightenment, towards something better. But there's this balance that's needed, keeping your one foot on solid ground. So on the one hand you remain stable, grounded, and on the other hand you dip into your emotions, into your intuition. So this is your underlining energy: temperance, moderation, balance, alchemy, the alchemy of life. So where you are now, it sort of shows you leaving something behind. The Eight of Cups is about moving on from something that has once been very fulfilling and something that's brought contentment and fulfillment, but is no longer doing that. And you feel called to move to something new, to, find to something better, something perhaps higher aspirations. You also have the Nine of Pentacles, which speaks of a sense of independence, of self-sufficiency, and willingness to put a lot of time and resources into building something up that takes you out of, that takes you to a place where you are on your own. So to me, these two together, it's almost like moving away from perhaps a group setting or a crowded environment to solitary, a place of solitude, and where you feel stronger because of that. So, you're moving towards self-sufficiency, independence, and this sort of movement requires discipline and patience. The challenges that may face you on this journey is, a sense of, with the Nine of Wands here, it sort of speaks of finding that this path is arduous, long-winded, difficult, and you may well feel you're not up to the task. The Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior, someone who's fought many battles, who's tried a lot of things, and is tired, wounded. So you sort of, it's difficult, this path that you may be choosing. However, the Nine of Wands does remind you that you have the strength of character and the fortitude to see this through to the end. It's sort of your challenge here is to not give in and throw in the towel. Next to the Four of Wands, which speaks of enjoyment, victory, sort of celebration among family, with crowds, which is interesting because, where you are, there's two solitary figures. So it's sort of perhaps the challenge is actually learning to do without that community, without that company, and on that solitary path to realize that you have the strength of character and the ability to hold out, to see it through to the end, to sort of move towards where you want to go. Now your guidance card sort of suggests you need to be working through some sort of loss and sorrow. But not, it sort of reminds you not to be trapped in the gloominess of this. Perhaps, this Three of Swords, this betrayal, heartache or sorrow is linked to you wanting to move away. Perhaps this is what brings you to a place where you are on your own or exploring life on your own. It suggests that you need, in order to fully appreciate and get the most out of this journey, this path, you need to work through some degree of sorrow and loss. And although this is a gloomy cloud-filled sky here, this card comes to remind you that all sorrows pass. The cloud, after the rain, the clouds rain for so long and then they're empty. The sky's clear and things brighten up. And with the Eight of Swords next to this, it sort of suggests you may need to change your perspective, change how you're looking at things. This figure feels trapped, feels surrounded by these swords, but if you look carefully at the card, there's a clear way out. And the blindfold sort of indicates a inability or unwillingness to see things clearly. If she were able to remove her blindfold, she'd be able to see that in the distance there's that castle that represents sanctuary, security, stability. It's there. It is attainable, although you feel trapped. So it's about stepping back, getting a different perspective, trying to see things in a new way. And in seeing that, you may find your spirits uplifting. So the guidance sort of suggests that your sorrow will pass if you're able to look at things from a new perspective, to take a step back and find that there is a way towards, there's a way to happiness. So, there is a way, there is a path. You are moving towards stability, security, and some sense of sanctuary. There's a lot that speaks here of a need for patience. The energies you're moving towards is seeing, starting to get a sense of the progress you're making. The Seven of Pentacles is about having done all the groundwork, having started something, tended to it, put your focus and your efforts and your resources into building something up. And although the progress is really slow, you'll get a sense of the growth that's starting. And it also sort of suggests that you'll be able to, you may be facing challenges, but these will be small and definitely surmountable. The Five of Wands is about challenges, minor challenges that you can overcome with a sense of adventure. So it's how you look at them. Little oppositions that are sort of, they may add a bit of a sense of adventure to the whole journey that you're on. But it sort of shows that you've still got a long way to go in this whole time period that we spoke, like these next 2 weeks. You're moving slowly through leaving something behind, working through some sense of loss or sorrow or a sense of betrayal, and trying to gain a new perspective to see the progress you've already made. There seems to be a sort of a movement towards independence, self-sufficiency. And this is perhaps is where your Lionheart card sort of comes in. It sort of suggests that you may need to steel your courage, find that faith in yourself and determination to move through. Here's another heart. You see, you've got two cards with a heart in them. This is to me sort of makes me think this is something that is a matter of the heart for you. So perhaps it's finding that sense of not only courage in moving away from something and towards something better, but sort of really does speak of mending of a broken heart. And you have here, you know, your perfect stranger. Perhaps there may be someone who can guide you and help you find a new perspective, a new way of looking at things. I get a sense of, you know, you're starting a path, you're starting a journey, and this is sort of moving through recovering from disappointment of something, of some sort, that may well be a matter of the heart for many of you. And once you're able to see a clear way through, begin to feel that sense of progress, you'll feel you've got the strength and the ability to overcome the small challenges that you're facing as you move forward. This is to me the beginning of a journey that's going to last for some time. And it, you know, with your oracle card here, the perfect stranger, there may be some assistance that comes from an unexpected direction. But overall, you have your Temperance card, sort of finding that balance, finding that faith and sort of renewed hope in life, and being able to move slowly but surely towards a goal, towards some sort of enlightenment and lifting of your spirits. So it does seem that stepping away or moving on towards something different is the way to go for you at this time. And don't forget the message in the Nine of Wands, which suggests even at times where you feel defeated and you want to throw in the towel, you have the strength, that one last final push, and you'll feel that sense of growth, that sense of progress. You know, the Seven of Pentacles sort of shows you moving towards a time where you taking stock of how far you've come and what's, you know, and getting a sense of growth and development. But you still have challenges to face, or even though they're small and surmountable. So there you have it, Aries. I hope you enjoyed your reading and that it resonates with you. And if so, please remember to hit the like, share and subscribe buttons. And then have a good 2 weeks, and God bless you till we meet again.